Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time watching any of my videos, welcome. My name is Kayla, and as you can tell from the title, I am 20 weeks pregnant. I'm actually 20 weeks and 6 days today as I'm filming. Friday, which is tomorrow, I will be 21 weeks, and this is going to be my third pregnancy. So if you do enjoy pregnancy updates, please give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you are new here, and let's get started. Third pregnancy, I am pregnant with my third baby girl, my oldest. Her name is Monroe. She is 6. My second daughter is Zaya. She is 17 months. And then this baby girl, number 3, will be due in May of 2019. Okay, so I don't know if I talked about this before in any of my pregnancy updates, or any of my videos at all, but this will actually be my third C-section. I had to have an emergency C-section with my oldest, Monroe. I was in labor for 34 hours, and then they finally decided that, you know, nothing was progressing. I stayed at only 4 centimeters, and they just had me do an emergency C-section at midnight that night. With my second pregnancy, nothing, she basically just recommended, I had to see a completely different doctor. The doctor that I seen with Monroe when I ended up being pregnant with Zaya, he ended up retiring. So I had to find a new doctor. The doctor that I went to with Zaya, I absolutely love her. She recommended the same thing. She just said it's usually better once you've had that C-section to just continue to do that. She was very hands-on, very informative with me, made me feel very comfortable, and that's what I love in a doctor. So with my recovery time with Monroe, it was awful. They only kept me for so I had her on a Monday at midnight, and then I stayed there I went home Tuesday afternoon. So for a C-section, first time C-section, and I wasn't really eating. I was walking around a little bit. It's kind of like you're like the hunchback of Notre Dame. That's how I was. I was like hunched over. I felt like I couldn't stay straight. The nurses there were really not hands-on with me at all either. They really didn't try to help me with anything. It was just Malcolm doing everything. So that was really hard. So I ended up going home with her, and I was home for just that night, and I ended up getting sick. I basically was just throwing up everywhere. I didn't have any energy. I could not take care of the baby. At that time, Malcolm had to go back to school. I guess we were young. Malcolm was 21. I was 19 when we had Monroe. And so he was still in college. He was finishing college, and he also played football. So he had to, the day we left the hospital, he ended up having to go right back to school. So he ended up going to school, and my parents ended up taking me back home. So it was that recovery was so hard. Like I said, I was very sick, and that night, the next morning, I couldn't keep anything down. I couldn't eat anything. If I ate it, first of all, I couldn't really eat much because the thought of it just made me sick. And then when I did want to eat something, every time I would eat it, it would come right back up. So my mom ended up calling the emergency room. My doctor recommended for me to go back to the hospital. So my mom took me back to the hospital. I ended up having to stay. They said that I had some kind of infection, and they think it was just from the C-section, like an internal infection. So they ended up keeping me there. They would not let the baby come back with me. They wouldn't even put me back onto the maternity floor. I had to be, I don't even know. I think it's just the general. I'm not sure. But it was pretty rough. That whole aftermath was pretty rough. I had to stay in the hospital for over a week. all the medication and stuff like that that I was on made it to where I could not breastfeed her at all. So my mom had to take care of her and be with her for that whole first week of her being born. Then with Zaya, it was such a relief. Right after it, I felt great. Right after the C-section, I felt great. I mean, I was tired, but I felt like myself. I felt fine. I felt like I could get up out of that bed and I could walk. The recovery was good. I got to leave, I think 2 days. I spent the night 2 days at the hospital, and then I got to leave. And then this time around, like, I could sleep in my own bed. The first time around, I had to sleep in a chair. The second time was much better. It definitely made it seem like the C-section was like, you know how people tell you like C-sections, oh my gosh, they're the worst. The first time I had it, I would agree. The second time I would have it, I would say no, it's a piece of cake, honestly. It was so quick and easy. Like I said, the recovery time was awesome. I had no problems with nothing. The only thing I had problems with which was my breastfeeding. She latched a little bit, but like I said, I think in a previous video, I think it was my last pregnancy update, she wouldn't latch on for long. It would be maybe 5 minutes or less. It wouldn't even probably be that. She would stay on, and it'd be like she'd suck for a few minutes, and then she just would stay there, but she wasn't doing anything. So instead of me doing more research, I ended up just exclusively pumping for Zaya. So that was pretty rough. It's a lot of work. I don't think I'm going to be able to exclusively pump for the third time, just because Zaya is still so young, and then I'm gonna have a newborn baby. So my plan is I'm going to just do as much as I can. I do want to pump still. I do want to breastfeed more than pumping. So I'm hoping that I will be able to just do more research on it, get more educated on it. Even if I have to find a lactation consultant this time, I'm going to do it. Okay, so this third time around, I had to get another doctor because I ended up getting a new insurance, and the doctor that I saw with Zaya, she does no longer take this insurance. So that was pretty upsetting because, like I told you guys, I really loved her and I really didn't want to change again. This is my third baby, my third time around, but I had to do it. And then the doctor that I found that takes my insurance has me going to the hospital that I went to with Monroe, and I'm not excited about that either because, like I told you guys, I did not have a good experience with that. I don't know if it was the hospital or if it was the doctor, but I just did not have a good experience with that. So I've been really on top of this doctor, letting him know, telling him my past experiences and the things that I'm really not looking forward to. And then I also talked to the kid's pediatrician and let her know that I would be going to this hospital. And thankfully, she's been with the kids ever since Monroe was little. So she understands how I am, and she understands my kids, and I just really connect with her. So she did tell me that since she does go to that hospital that I will be going to, she will come up there, all the nursery stuff for the baby. So that is such a relief as well. Okay, so enough rambling about my past pregnancies. I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to be telling you guys about my 19 and 20 week pregnancy update. Some symptoms that I've been having, I think, guys, I told you guys about this before, but I think I know what it's called. I was telling you guys before that I was having this pain if I'm sitting straight up. I will have this dull, sometimes sharp pain down in my uterus area. It could get pretty painful at times, so I feel like the only time I can get any kind of relief is if I'm laying down. And I did some researching on Google. I do plan on bringing it up to my doctor when I go see him, but I did Google it to see if there was any kind of information, and the information that I found is called round ligament pain, so it could be that. And the reason I feel like it could be that is, I wrote it down so I could tell you guys. it said it feels like a dull ache in the lower abdomen or may feel sharp shooting pain that travels down the groin. And then I also saw that it said most women find relief by resting their feet up. And then it also said that it should disappear within 21 weeks of pregnancy. So hopefully this is what it is and it will go away soon. Another thing that I've been having too is I have throughout the day, it's not every day, but certain times of the day I will feel very nauseous, especially if I am moving around a lot. Like if I'm cleaning, I feel like I can only do a little bit of cleaning and then I need to lay down for a little bit and then I'll get back up and return, because if not I feel really nauseous. Sometimes different smells make me nauseous too, like if I'm cooking, and before I even cook it, like it sounds good, it looks good, everything, but then when I start smelling it, I'm just like, oh no, like I can't, like I won't even eat it after that because I just feel nauseous. I have been very tired throughout the day too, regardless if I'm moving around a lot that day or not. It just depends on the day for me. Yeah, some days I'll have so much energy and I want to get so much done, and the other days I'm just like, oh, like, but I think that's pretty normal. I do get hot, like right now I'm like sweating. I have this ring light on and I'm just like, oh. And I cut my fan off so you guys wouldn't hear the fan in the background, even though you're probably hearing my dog snore. But I get very hot very easily. Like going outside, since it's been cool, has been feeling so good. I'll go outside and just have like something light on, like a light sweater like this, and it'll be like 30-40 degrees and I'll be like, oh, it feels so good. I think I've talked about this before in my past pregnancy updates. I get out of breath so easily. Talking, I get out of breath. Walking, I get out of breath. It doesn't matter what it is. I've been getting big so much quicker, which I think that is normal. And I have been feeling the baby move so much more, especially her little hiccups in the middle of the night. I'll wake up and my whole stomach is like shaking. Now is the time to where when you put your hand on your belly, or if you just look at your belly and you can see it move, like it's the sweetest thing. Okay, so I had my 20-week anatomy scan just the week before Christmas. I did record, so I will go ahead and leave the card up here if you guys didn't see it. But I did get that done. Everything went great. The baby's heartbeat was at 150. All of her measurements were perfect, the tech said. And then I also have my next doctor's appointment next week. It's the first week of January, I believe. So they will probably go over all of that stuff with me as well. But the tech said everything looked great. She took so many pictures. She sent me so many pictures to my phone. The whole time we were trying to get a 3D scan of her face, like her profile. And she just kept putting her hand over her face. But it was the cutest thing. I will go ahead and put a clip of that on here in case you guys missed it.
She's keeping that hand right up in front of that little face.
Okay, and then some of my cravings I've been having, a lot of them have just depended on the day, but recently, the past 2 weeks, I've been craving salads. And guys, this might sound weird, but it's not certain salads. Like, it has to have certain things in it. And it's not even like, I don't know. When I told Malcolm I needed the salad, he was just like, so I know you guys have probably had Olive Garden before. Their salads is what I've been craving. Like, I want the onions, I want the peppers in them. If you guys have been following me for a while, you know I love those spicy peppers during this pregnancy. But those salads are what I'm craving. So I can't just have a regular salad. No, it has to have onions. It has to have the peppers. The other craving that I've been having are pickles. Just, oh my goodness, just any, I love vinegar on things too. Just, oh my gosh, now my mouth is watering. It really just depends on the day. I haven't really been feeling Chick-fil-A that much recently. I know I was for a while, wanted Chick-fil-A, but now it's just like the spicy stuff, or like I said, salads, but it has to have onions, guys, and the peppers. And the last thing that I have been needing is water, guys. Like, I've been so thirsty. Isn't this cup so cute? My mom made this. She makes all of these like tumbler things. She makes a whole bunch of stuff, but she made me this tumbler for Christmas, and it says "Ain't no hood like motherhood." And then she saved my little Bimoji thing on my phone. Let me see if I can show you guys. But water, like, I'm always drinking water. I feel like wherever I go, this whole thing needs to be filled up. I already told you guys my next appointment. I'm not really sure what they're going to do. It's probably just going to be like a regular checkup where they listen to the baby's heartbeat, just go over my 20-week anatomy scan. And then I did tell you guys before that they had to do more blood work my last visit, and they sent off a urine sample as well because of the things that I had told them, how I was getting dizzy, which I haven't really had that much anymore. And then the dull aching pain, and then they also wanted to check the genetics, make sure all of that was good. So I will get the results back for all of that. Then I note down everything that they tell me. That way I can share it with you guys on my next appointment, which is 21 weeks. You guys, that is it for my 19 to 20 week update. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to give it a thumbs up if you did. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. And also don't forget to click that bell notification. That way you guys will be notified when my next video is uploaded. I will see you guys in the next one.